Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Riskaviana. I'm from Department of Mining Engineering, Faculty of Earth Technology and Energy, Universitas Trisakti, Jakarta, Indonesia. In this opportunity, I will present my research about sustainable mining fund concept. The outline discussed include first introduction, second methods, third result and discussion, and the last conclusion. Okay, sustainable mining is a mining industry governance system that focuses on the development of economic, environmental, community development, socio-economic, efficiency, and safety aspect. The application of sustainable mining is inherently challenging because mining is the act of removing and consuming limited natural resources. Reducing the environmental impact of mining is a focused common sustainable mining framework. Strategies for assessing the sustainability of mining operation include measuring, monitoring, and improving various environmental performance metrics. The main metrics for environmental sustainability in mining relate to efficiency in resource consumption, minimizing land disturbance, reducing pollution, and reclamation of exhausted mine land. Sustainable mining has one of the main functions for helping the recovery of mining area in improving the community economy. In Indonesia, the government formulated a regulation on the use of non-tax state revenue, or we can call in Indonesia, penerimaan negara bukan pajak (PNBP), with the sovereign wealth fund concept. This figure show that realization of PNBP in the energy and mineral resources sector in every year. In the midst of the challenges of national economic recovery due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the realization of PNBP in the energy and mineral resources sector in 2021 reached 189.2 trillion. The PNBP consists of oil and gas of 103.2 trillion, mineral and coal of 75.5 trillion, new renewable energy and energy conversion of 1.9 trillion, and other revenues of 8.6 trillion. The Sustainable Mining Fund regulation is very important to be implemented because the amount of mineral and coal resources in Indonesia is limited and may not last long. This research provides a review of the existing research literature and talk on mining sustainable fund. There are 3 steps such as review plan, review process, and review report. Mineral fund institutional governance is needed for the implementation of sustainable mining, so it can support its sustainable management. Good institutions refer to mechanisms based on organizational procedures that are transparent, effective, and respond to public interest. Therefore, it is absolutely needed for institutional governance that is responsive to the public interest. From the International Working Group of Sovereign Wealth Funds, mining sustainable funds can be divided into 3 types, namely legal entity, company or state-owned enterprise, and collection asset. Referring to Supriyanto 2021, there are 5 types of management of mining sustainable fund, including stabilization fund, saving or future generation fund, pension reserve fund, reserve investment fund, and strategic development wealth fund. Although the management on the mining sustainable fund tends to be risky compared to the traditional foreign exchange reserve model because returns are prioritized over liquidity. The mining sustainable fund will be diversification, especially for sources of income derived from mineral and coal, which are quite lot owned by Indonesia. The discussion on the concept of sustainable mining fund is currently ongoing. In addition to that, several stakeholders in the mining sector have asked in its implementation whether the regulation will be made using the old regulation on non-tax state revenue or PNBP, or will a new regulation on PNBP be made. It is possible that through the Sustainable Mining Fund regulation, the government will allocate a portion of PNBP funds from the mineral and coal sector for the sake of the continuity and sustainability of its own mining operation. In addition, so far, mineral and coal non-tax revenue have been directly included in the state budget, or we call APBN, and then used for various state needs, not only for the mining industry. According to the applicable regulation, actors in the mining sector are required to deposit guarantees and post-mining repairs for business continuity in the mining and coal sector. The performance of the use of recovery and post-mining fund will be assessed regularly by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. The Sustainable Mining Fund can use PNBP fund from the mining and coal sector. Mineral and coal PNBP is still distributed among coal and mineral producing region according to a certain formula. On the other hand, the funds can be used to develop sustainable mining fund with an allocation determined by law. Local government can also use PNBP revenue sharing funds to develop sustainable mining funds in their respective region. Management must be carried out professionally, transparently, responsibly, and strictly controlled by a professional supervisory board. However, in terms of capital, it's not easy to establish a mining sustainable fund in Indonesia because it is included in revenue sharing scheme of the EBBN and ABBD with gold and mineral producing region. For this reason, political will is needed from the central and regional government to allocate funds managed in the form of the Sustainable Mining Fund. The Sustainable Mining Fund can be used for research and technology development in mining and coal mining, including the downstream process and industrialization of mineral and coal. At this time, the government must strictly control use the Sustainable Mining Fund. This aims to prevent corruption from complicating the bureaucratic process of using this fund. So the points are the adoption of sustainable mining needs to be internalized more deeply to stakeholders in the mining sector so that it can be realized correctly and truly. The mining industry must be able to ensure economic, social, and environmental sustainability as well as taking into account other stakeholders such as the community and local government. Mining and coal regulation must also encourage the development and empowerment of national technology for the independence and progress of the nation. In addition, the government has also developed a regulation on the use of non-tax revenue from the mineral and coal sector for sustainable development, financing, and sustainable post-mining economic development with the concept of sovereign wealth fund. Indonesia's potential to implement the sustainable mining fund policy is very large, with its risks in mineral resources, rare earth mineral, and coal. Thank you to Berhapi, IMA, API, Universitas Trisakti, and the Committee Second International Conference of Sustainable Earth Resources Engineering 2022. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.